Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to Vanderwan Gardens. This is Ken. I'm here to talk to you about the update of where we're at. So yesterday I did a hive inspection, and the bees did something really weird. They made like a tunnely kind of a thing. So I had to scrape out all of this honeycomb, which I've been really enjoying eating. You take the honeycomb, you roll it around. Try not to chew it because it gets in your teeth. And then you can just and as long as you go for the mainly capped stuff, some of it's uncapped. It can ferment if it's not capped because it might have a higher water content. But I'm not planning on storing this honey. I'm just planning on eating it in this bin. And I keep it sealed because honey will absorb moisture if you leave it unsealed. So another fun thing in the gardening club last week, no, last month, I got some basil. We've been eating this basil and it's been rooting, so I'm going to take it outside with me. I'm going to plant it in some dirt and see what happens. Got nothing to lose, right? Of course, I got my eggshells from this morning's breakfast where we crunch that down with a food processor and we add it to the soil. So, and if I do have any buddies that want some honey, I can always, when people say recycle, it doesn't just mean like drink out of a water bottle once, stick it in the recycling container, and then have somebody else have to take care of it. Recycle. If you have a coleslaw container like this, that's perfect for storing your honeycomb in, and you have a friend that wants the honeycomb, just wash this thing out and, use it again. So let me take this outside. Oh, and one of my fans asked me if I could do a little bit of video on my baby Cherry. Oh, sorry, the shoe collection. Oh, speaking of shoe collections. So yeah, I made this out of an old bookcase. I had some maple that I tried to make a bookcase out of, but it didn't go so well. So that got repurposed. I never throw away anything, as you can imagine. Speaking of never throwing away anything, this is Cherry. Cherry is a 1978 Corvette with about 80,000 miles. Always wear a hat when you drive Cherry because the roof does not allow, really, and these little tiny visors, the sun is always blinding you. So yeah, this is Cherry. She's not perfect, but then again, neither am I. She's an L82, which means it's the more powerful of the two engines that were capable. About 220 horsepower. Go on, Cherry. Pop that hood open. There you go. Not perfectly clean, but she runs. She starts up after a few tries. She's beautiful from about 10 feet away. But, yeah. So that is Cherry. I put in new speakers and a new stereo. The new stereo is meant to look like the old stereo, but it has Bluetooth and everything else in it. So good stuff. So that's Cherry. She's my baby. So yeah, had a harrowing situation yesterday where I thought to myself, how many hives do I want to have for sure? Oh, and I guess that leads into this. So I bought some shelves that were mahogany, and they were just going to throw them away. So I bought them for like $50 or $75 or something. And so I made them into, I have two honey supers there. And there's a guy named David Burns that makes a Winter Be Healthy product that's out of like maybe 4-inch wide. So these little things here. So this, I'm going to put some foam board on top of, and I'm going to melt some candy, some sugar into here, and I'm going to feed my bees with it. This is a top cover. This is a bottom cover. This is a swarm trap, or a nuke, that I'm just painting. I got some good old weather beater paint that was left over from when the old people had this house. And I never throw away anything, so I took it, and now it is covering over some old hives. So what do we got here? So this is the this is the September 4th video. My ghost pepper has not sprung. Harold, my neighbor, gave me his chili pepper to keep track of. So I don't want to take all of his pods, but I think that having all of these red pods is kind of sucking the life out of it. So I'm going to have to cut some more pods off of it. I'll put you there until... So this is what the garden looks like currently. The lettuce, I let a couple go to seed. So I'm hoping that the lettuce seeds will repopulate down here. And now a word about keeping your soil moist. Make sure that you give your soil a good soaking at least once a week, because the biodiversity in that soil is what allows for healthy soil. And if you let it to dry out completely to where it's completely dehydrated, well, all of the microorganisms in there die. So, see how the onions, the tops died, but the onions are still growing. You can see one right there, good old white onion, because their bottom roots are in full. I got some bees floating around my beets. So I already harvested these potatoes. I got about maybe 5 or 10 pounds of potatoes out of these 5 bags. Those are just seed potatoes. Is that a wasp drinking out of my bee waterer? Huh. Stupid wasp. So this is what the hive setup looks like. So I don't know if you've been paying super duper attention, but in the back I had like little 4-foot boards, and that was enough for those 2 hives. And then I thought, how many hives do I want? Maybe 6. So I'm going to build up, not this year, obviously, being September. I don't want to start a new hive. But next year, I'm going to build, I'm going to put out the 6th hive, and I'm going to try to keep everybody alive in there. And there's that honey frame where I spatula it off all of the honey, and I'm letting them rob it all off. I put it over there so that way they can eat it. It's on their way to their watering station here. That rear left hive took a tumble yesterday, and trying to move the rails off, it didn't go so well. But they were angry. They chased me all the way to the garage. But now they're happier. I gave them some food. So I put a, since it's still very dry out here, if you look at the grass. So all of the hives have a top feeder. So the topmost box on all of these hives is just a cover for the feeder. Okay. Another important thing before I move on is don't look like a bear. I must have said this a million times, but I have dark hair and a dark beard, so I'm always wearing a hat. When I don't wear a hat, I get buzzed. If you buzz and you swing, they will sting you. But if you have a hat on, you don't really hear them buzz, and you're not so worried about them getting in your hair. So, I'm standing 10 feet away from them. After yesterday, I went in there and inspected all of these hives, and they were angry. Today, they might still be angry, but they're not trying to get in my hair. I'm going to be doing a talk on the polytunnel, or I call it the greenhouse, but they call it a polytunnel. I got to talk about the pros and the cons. Is it worth getting a polytunnel? And I don't know. I think it is. So take a look out here. I got the asparagus and I got some hot peppers. I started putting trays underneath, by the way. So I use these shoe mats I got from Target or someplace. And I use them. Oh, you see, somebody's buzzing me. And hopefully they're not going to try to bite me. Oh, nope, there's a bunch of them after me. So I'm just going to walk. I'm going to go get under cover. And I'm not going to swat. Okay, good. Yeah, they weren't happy. But I didn't swat, so I didn't get stung. So, anyway, this is what this half of the garden looks like. I mean, right off the top of the bat, a big thing that I like about the polytunnel is, you see how these tomato plants, I mean, they got these flimsy little cages, so maybe it's my fault for buying cheap cages. But they're all drooping. You see the leaves are curling. I mean, I water everybody about the same, but with everything drooping, and there's weeds in there. You can see that there's weeds in there. Oh, I'm getting buzzed again. Okay, I'm going to go inside the greenhouse now, because I want to do a point counterpoint. So in the greenhouse, I got the same stupid little metal rings, but I'm able to tie strings to the top supports, and I twirl my vines up, and now they're able to be supported. I think these tomato plants in here look healthier. I mean, not the cucumbers. They don't look so good. Something went after my cucumbers. Somebody's eating the leaves. So I'm gonna put some white stuff. What is it? Oh, it's diatomaceous earth. So I'm gonna put some diatomaceous earth on some of these leaves wherever I see the aphids. But yeah, so this is. Oh, yeah, I saw some evidence of digging going on over here. I'm like, what could be on the table digging? So I put a trail cam back here, and I saw what looked to be two chunky rats climbing up on the table. I'm like, what the heck? So I put that trail cam there, and so far the only thing I'm catching is my own chunky butt. But yeah, these cucumbers aren't looking so happy. So getting back to the polytunnel, I love it in here. The humidity is higher. It protects against weeds blowing in here. Like, there are tomato seeds all in here just from last year, but there's not really a whole lot of weeds. And the leaves look healthier. It's all much more supported. I mean, it does get pretty hot in here. It's 116 degrees max. Minimum 51 degrees, because I have the door wide open. 69% humidity, getting on up to 94. So it's currently 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So let me just reset this. Oh, okay, yeah, there we go. So now let's take a look at my peppers. I just pulled out so many tomatoes. I made chili yesterday, and I used pretty much all of my tomatoes. You know, like how some of them come out and they look a little ugly? You know, so you just chop off the bottoms, make sure there's nobody living in there, and then slice it up and make a tomato, make the chili out of it. That tomato there had a split down the center of it, and there were creatures living in it, so couldn't use that. So my Scotch bonnets are finally coming up. I got to pick some of those guys. My red habaneros, I didn't pick them because I wanted to show you guys. And my Carolina Reapers are starting to come up. Leo the lemon tree is doing a great job making some limes, I mean. Leo the lime tree. But I don't know. How big are these going to get? I don't know. We'll see. Marigold's going good. Oh, these are the caramel ghosts. They are just so yummy, but so spicy. This plant, this ornamental tie, it had been devastated by a caterpillar. Pulled the caterpillar out, and now it's happy again. So I don't even know what the heck these guys are. Are they just Black pearls, it says. Yep. So when you see wrinkly stuff like this, yeah, that means it's hot. You are the gator jigsaw. What? I had a gator jigsaw labeled over there, and it was totally not a gator jigsaw. This could be the world's hottest hot pepper. This is, I think, otherwise known as Pepper X, but they haven't fully verified that it's the hottest of the hot. I think it's got to go through like 7 or 10 generations. This is a purple ghost scorpion. When you slice it open, the flesh inside is purple, and those are really hot, over 1 million. The white murpies, these are orange glows. Where's the Kang Star Lemon Starbursts? I don't know if any of those came ripe. Brazilian orange starfishes. Arg. This is a no plant. Might be a mustard scorpion. Got some parsley. Oh, I guess I gotta plant that aloe somewhere along the line. What's this one here? This is the red habanero. Not yet though. You'll get there. The jalapenos. These guys are getting nice and chunky. Yep, I can definitely pick that one and eat it. That's a habanero. So the lettuce got chewed down by somebody. These are bishop's crowns. But over here we got some more bishop's crowns. Is this the Kang Star Lemon Starburst? This is the Brazilian orange starfish. Oh, and that's the Fresno. So, and the Fresno has got some flowers. I ate a couple of those early on, but then that was all. So that's what's inside here. Oh, what's going on over here? This also looks like a purple. Oh, look who's here. Yeah, it's a purple ghost scorpion. So yeah, those are nice and spicy. And just some regular old peppers, sweet peppers. And this is my noise maker to keep the critters aware that this is a scary place. Stay away. So that's what the inside of the garden looks like. Am I getting buzzed again? So, got a little feeder here. The wasps are liking it. I don't like you, wasp. It's for my bees. I want to encourage them. There was a wasp nest under there that I took care of one night. And my basil. When your basil starts to sprout seeds, make sure you pick it. But yeah, that's good stuff. So yeah, this is the garden tour on September 4th. And yeah, I mean, the outside tomatoes are doing good. The inside tomatoes are doing good. But I don't know. I guess I just got to get better support. I mean, I did find on the side of the road the makings of a gazebo. So I've already had everything planted back here. So I'm thinking about screwing that in here somehow. But having aluminum poles right next to the electric fence just seems like a bad idea. So maybe I'll have to move this electric fence. I actually had to disconnect this electric fence because it was zapping. Like all of my Elysium, you see it was growing over the electric fence. And the Indian blanket, and pretty much everything was just like, you know, hey, look, let's just drape over this electric fence. So, yeah. Speaking of the hives, I saw eggs and larvae in all of them. I just treated them with Formic Pro, and so I think that they all look pretty healthy. So it's the 20th day. I opted for the two 10-day treatments of one pad apiece. So I closed them down. I put their entrance reducers back in, and they look like they're healthy. That hive in the front middle is so healthy that it's got 2 honey supers on it. And as you notice, I'm going single brood box. So there's only one brood box instead of two like traditional hives. And the reason why I'm doing that is because when you're doing hive inspections and you're looking for eggs, you don't know where your queen is. Is she in the bottom brood or in the top brood? I like the fact that I've got... Am I getting buzzed again? Yep, I'm getting buzzed again. Okay, I'm moving. So I put a queen excluder, and they... wow, they're still salty at me. They chased me back to the garage yesterday. So, okay. I think I'm safe again. I'm not getting buzzed. Oh, nope, I'm getting buzzed again. Let's see if we go with our back towards the shed here. Oh, is that a wasp? That was a wasp buzzing me, not a bee. Maybe they're upset with me that I took out their nest. You can always tell a wasp flying by its very erratic zigzagging, whereas bees are much more loopy. So at 27 minutes, I think this is getting too long. But anyway, this is Ken from Vanderwan Gardens signing off, saying, do your best. It's not going to be perfect, but as long as you keep moving in the right direction, you'll eventually get to the approximate place that you were trying to go. Bye-bye.